I thought I
The
had 16
gentlewoman from
seconds.
Illinois, Ms. Kelly, is now recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Even before the Dobbs ruling, the United States was facing a crisis with the highest maternal mortality rate that equally felt. More than 7 women died from and
Oh, we're having trouble with the connection, Representative. I think
can
we
you not hear?
now we can hear you better. Okay.
Okay. Today, as we know, Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely than white women to experience fatal pregnancy complications. Ms. Goss-Graves, can you speak to why Black women are more likely to die during pregnancy, and how will Dobbs make this even worse?
Well, so one of the reasons why the maternal mortality rate is higher for Black women is that they have less access to health care more broadly. They're less likely to have access to insurance. But one of the other things that we know is that the discrimination and bias that they receive in healthcare makes the pregnancies that Black women have even more serious. So when they raise concerns about their health, they're not always taken as seriously. And I commend the work that this Congress has done to try to deal with the maternal mortality crisis in this country. I have such deep worries that we will be accelerating on the wrong track, especially in states that have ran to ban abortion, leaving people without options to decide whether they want to have children themselves.
And we should be especially alarmed and concerned that the states with the highest rates of maternal mortality, as you have alluded to, have also banned or are about to ban abortion. More women will die as a result. Representative Shannon, Georgia has one of the worst maternal mortality crises in the country. Are the anti-choice politicians who advocate for forced pregnancy taking maternal mortality crisis in your state?
Could you repeat the question? It cut out.
I'm sorry. The anti-choice politicians who advocate for forced pregnancy, are they taking any steps to address the maternal mortality crisis in your state?
You know, some of these folks, once pressured and being told that they were not living their values of wanting to make sure that everyone has access to health care, which is what they claim, they did support the effort that I led to expand postpartum Medicaid. But one thing I'd like to correct on the record, because I've heard this many times, the disinformation of how the United States is radical compared to other countries. Most countries don't legislate abortion. They don't. You know why? Because they know that abortion is health care. So this is not even something that's even legislated in most countries. So that's why you don't see that, you know, this is something that's regularly talked about, because they know that this is not a political issue. And it was not a political issue until the 1980s when Republicans used it to coalesce their base. So all the talk about how radical the U.S. was in protecting abortion rights is just completely false.
Well, thank you for clearing that up. Maternal mortality rates of Black women increased during the pandemic, and I'm alarmed and enraged that abortion make that disparity worse. Maternal mortality is a public health crisis, and we need to address it as well, and not forcing to carry pregnancy, not just solving this problem. I just want to say on the record that my constituents and other back to Illinois care about this issue. Yes, care about inflation, but they care very and their rights and their privacy. I yield.